So whatever we are saying is being recorded, and I'm starting with this test case, and my goal is I will be starting from record and run, then I will be doing the same thing using object repository, and then I will be doing the work using descriptive programming, and I will be incorporating everything in Excel. Now this test case, what it says is go to https www.am.facebook.com, Facebook website will appear, verify that email text box is present, expected output text box there, input an email address will be displayed in that email text box, and then verify that password text box is present, then you will see that password text box in the screen. Input password, you will be inputting a password, and that password will be displayed as masked. By masked we mean the password will not be exposed, it will be coming as some dot, and then click on the login button. So if the credential is a good credential, then it will take you to the home page, otherwise it will give you a error message. So these are the steps that I am planning to cover. Now can everyone still hear me, or anyone having any issue?
No, it's clear. No, it's clear now.
Okay, sure, thank you. Now let me start my work in UFT. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new test case. I have created a folder somewhere, and let me remove whatever I have currently. Let me remove it. I have previously I was showing someone from our team, someone, and I am removing it. Now team means we have people in Bangladesh, so I was discussing with him. So let me remove it, and then I have a folder that we have created here for Facebook testing. So I'm going to save the file that I'm creating now in that folder, and then I'm going to give the test case name as Facebook automation. Okay, Facebook automation. Now create. Now if you take a look here in the actual step, instead of putting www.facebook.com, what I did, I put am.facebook.com, because facebook.com probably Facebook is a very secure website, and probably if you try to automate it from your end, the production side, they have some restrictions. That's why Nafisa Bhabi, the pop-up that you are seeing, because they have program written, you cannot drive it, their production by this program, because let me first show you what is the issue that we are having if we are trying to do direct Facebook, if we try to automate it. Okay, now let me go there. Let me go to my virtual machine, and the first thing, if we do record and run, the first thing that we do, we go to record and run settings, and from there we select website, and then open the following browser when recording or running. And then if you take a look here, I have a m dot, I'm going to remove it. Okay, https facebook.com. okay, now this is the website that we are going to record. So if I click apply and OK, then let me start recording. So you will see, like, it brought Facebook for us, and then if we try to do anything here, can you see this? Stop running this script. A script on this page is causing your web browser to run slowly. If continues to run, your computer might become unresponsive. So Nafisa Bhabi, do you mean this pop-up?
Yes, and I have seen some effects, because while I was when I started with record and run first, and then I tried to understand how the test steps gonna go on. Then I started doing the descriptive and then storing the share object. So yes, it was interrupting later on the UFT. This pop-up message.
Okay. Now let me tell you something about it. Remember, Facebook has billions of users, right? Now Facebook has billions of users over the world, and it has lot of competitor too. If someone, like this website has a limit of the capacity, like how much user it will be able to handle. Now if its competitor create lot of program, remember, if its competitor creates lot of program and they automate it and keep the website busy, then its actual users will not get this website available. Thus their business will be hampered. So that's why they had mechanism in their production environment so that people do not able to automate that. Is it clear?
Yes.
So yes, so that's why this is a very secure site, and Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg or whoever is owner of the Facebook, they do not people automate something in their site, because if people automate lot of things and they keep running, then actually its original user, they will not be able to get this site. So that's why in their production environment they certainly have automation process, but in their production environment they do not have any automation process. Okay, someone's alarm is ringing. Okay, now to stop this one, actually we are not going to automate anything on this site. What I have planned, remember here I have mentioned that https www.am.facebook.com. so we will be doing our automation on their mobile site. Okay, so on that site I don't have that message, but let's move forward with that on that site. Now let me go there and let me remove everything from here. Now I did a small recording, and because of that recording you will see some of the objects already stored in my local object repository, and these objects I don't want them because it was from the previous recording. I am going to remove these objects, and then I am going to go to record and run settings again, and in record and run settings what I am going to do, I am going to put www and then .m.facebook.com. okay, so now let me start now and let me close this browser. Okay, now if I start recording now, see it has started recording, and probably we will not see this error anymore. Now you can see the website is being loaded.
Yes, it takes time.
Okay, so cannot display this page, so I think we will have to do something here in the recording. I think what I will have to do in the record and run settings, I will have to remove that www dot, because it will be https m.facebook.com. let me try now. Still I am getting the Internet Explorer cannot display this page. Let me see why it cannot display this page. Let me see. Facebook.com. Now it can display, right? Okay. So let me go to my record and run settings again and remove that. Oh yes, I have it. I'll have to put that. Now let me give another try and let me start recording. Okay, now we got the site. So first thing in our test case, when we got that page, first thing is we will verify that this this email text box is there. So we will do that in the code, but in the second thing we are going to input an email address on that email address field. Let's say we are inputting test at automatecode.com. Okay, and then let's say we input our password as password 1. Okay, and then the next task is click on login. So if I click on login, can you see that error message here? So that is the requirement. So if you put a wrong credential, it will give you an error message, and I am going to verify that error message. The email you have entered does not match any account. Sign up for an account. Now I am going to in order to verify this text, what I can do, I can input a standard checkpoint, and I can select that text, and I will click OK. Now what I will do, I will just keep inner text. Email you have entered, can you see? Email you have entered does not match any account. Sign up for account. So I'm going to verify that text by a checkpoint, and then I'm going to click OK. So and then I will stop recording. Now if you take a look here, team, you can take a look here that I have first I am inputting email address, and then I am inputting a password, and then I am clicking on login, and then I am verifying that error message is there by using a checkpoint, right? So that is the requirement. So let's run this test case that I have recorded. If I play this one, you can see that it is inputting user ID, password, and then we have a checkpoint. Let's see what we have in the, can you see that the email you have entered, the checkpoint, everything is passed. That means our record and run is successful here. And what we did, we input the email address and the password, and click on login button, and then verified that text here. Now that is how you will be doing it in recording, simple recording. Now one thing we have here, you can see that set secure, right? Can you see that set secure? This is like if you have a password field, if you input anything in password field, it will be appearing as masked. So this is what called masked text. Now if you want to remove it, then you can directly use set instead of set secure, and then you can input the direct password here. Let's say password is password 1234. Okay, let me remove this one, and let me execute it again. It will do the same thing that we did last time. Now, so that is how in recording run you input something, and you input a standard checkpoint, you verify something by a standard checkpoint. Okay, so what we verified here, we input something, and then we supposed to get error message. We verified that error message. So any questions so far? Okay. Okay, I will say there is no question. In record and run, I just, my goal was to give you, remind you how we did record and run, how we set up things in record and run settings. Just remember, I am recapturing whatever we did in the class. In record and run, here, can you see, if you do record and run on any open browser, it will not start that browser. So if you want to start the browser automatically, then you will have to choose the second option, and then you will have to give the URL, right? Now if you do not want that browser to be started, now let's say you want to work on another application, then you will have to unselect this one, you will have to select this one, because otherwise every time you run another test, it will bring you this website if you keep this radio button selected here. Okay, now, so this one, record and run, that is what, like, I wanted to remind you. We have input password, we have click something, we have input a checkpoint. Now again here, parameterization. In record and run, we did parameterization, right? So let's say I will also bring the parameterization concept again here before I move into the other topics. You can take a look here. We have this, that is where we are inputting the email. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it for free email address. Okay, now you can take a look here, global sheet, and we want to name this field as, let's say, p email address. Okay, now let's say click OK. Now can you see here, by default it will bring that double quotation. We will remove the double quotation because we don't need this double quotation here. Now the email address field is parameterized. Then let's go to the password field, and in the password field again we will add from global datasheet, and I will name it as the password. Okay. Now let me remove this double quotation here, that is by default coming. We do not want the double quotation here. And then okay, now let's say you want to execute, you want to test 100 Facebook ID. Okay, so how will you do that? How will you do that for a, how will you check it for a 100 ID? Can you see, I'm inputting the IDs. Let's say I want to test it for Facebook, this one, let's say test 1, and then test 2, and then test 3, and then test 4, and then test 5. Right, let's do test 5. Now if you come up, can you see this password 1234? Let me, so these are the password. Now I want to check for this 5 ID. I want to do check the parameterization for these 5 IDs. Now if I close this browser and let's go back to the expert view. So how many views we have in QTP or UFT? Can anyone answer me?
Yes,
two views.
Yes.
Expert view. Now the view that we are having here, what is that view? This is keyword view, exactly. And this one, is this keyword view? This is expert view.
No, expert.
Yeah, this is expert view where you are having code. This is expert view. Now if you change this view, this is keyword view. Okay. All right. Now see here, I'm going back to expert view. When we have parameterized this script, can you see here that now it is taking set. Now it is taking the data from global data sheet. And what is the field for email address? It is taking p email address field. Can you see p email address field? It has email address. And then for password, it is again going to where? Global data sheet. And what is the field? P password. Okay. And then we are clicking on login button, and then after clicking on login button, we are verifying that error message. Now we know that all of these IDs are not correct, so all of them will display the error message. Now let me execute this block. I know there will be issue coming. Okay, luckily it didn't show us any issue, and all of our 5 iteration, if you take a look here, can you see this is iteration 1, email address set, password set, login click, standard checkpoint, iteration 2, right? Iteration 2, again navigate, sync, and then email address input. Can you see this was all of the iteration passed for us. We have 5 iteration and all of the iteration passed for us. Now here what it did, it input the email address and password, and it checked that these, for all of this email ID, we have got that error message. Now let's say you want to highlight, you want to highlight that error message. You want to highlight that error message. Now now what you want to do before you start execution, you want to close all the browser before you start execution. So what you will do here, you will be putting a command system util dot close process by name. And what is the process you want to close? I explode.exe. Okay, now if you run it, let's see if it brings any issue for us. Now can you see it is actually not going through? Can anyone tell me what is the reason it is not going through?
We didn't mention the Facebook, we mentioned the iExplore, like the Facebook browser. Here we didn't mention.
We don't put any browser name.
Yeah.
We don't put any browser name. I'm like that in Facebook.com.
Okay, take a look one thing here. In line number 2, we have close process by name, and the process is iExplore.exe. We are actually closing a process. And what is that process? iExplore.exe. Actually, remember, let me show you. Close process by name, by this one, we are actually closing whatever IE process is there. We are not opening anything. Now if you, let me start from the beginning. Now you can see that it has opened the browser, right? It has opened the browser. Why it opened the browser? Can anyone tell me?
Because we are setting the runner record and run setting, we putting over the browser name.
Yes. So because we have in the record and run settings, we have www.m.facebook.com. So every time we run this script, it will automatically bring that website. Now what we are doing, although it is doing its task in line number 2, before we input anything, we are closing that process. Can you see this process iexplore.exe? If you go to your task manager and processes, can you see you have a process here iexplore.exe? Can you see that?
Yeah.
So now what we are doing in line number 2, we are closing that process. So can you see that it has closed that website? Now that's why you cannot input anything. So what is the remedy for that? Can anyone tell me?
Remove from record and run setting and then close on the browser and add to open the Internet Explorer and the Facebook. So we have to add another line after closing the browser. Right.
Okay.
Line number 2.
What? I didn't get it. Can you repeat?
Add another line after line number 2, because line number 2 is we are opening. Yes, from record and run we have to remove, and then we have to add another line to open the browser.
Okay. First task, you are saying first task, go there and
We can
Yes.
select the first line. Then we need to change record and run setting. First one is record and run setting by any open browser. Yes.
okay,
And
apply.
apply.
Then
Okay.
Apply.
Then
Okay. Yes.
Then
Then we need to make another line.
another line.
Yeah. If you we have to open the browser.
System
So
util dot run and
Open the browser.
what is the
Dot run.
Yes.
what is the browser we want to open, and what is the website we want to open?
m.facebook.
https m dot facebook.com. Okay, now let me give a try.
Just confused about the record and run setting. Why you choose the first one? Why is not second one?
Okay, what is the question again? Can you repeat?
No, I was just wondering the record and run session. Changing the settings.
Because you know, in the second option we are asking open this browser every time you run something. So we do not want to open that browser every time we run something, because we are bringing this website by executing a command in line number 3. Okay. So one iteration done, it is going for the second iteration. Can you see it is doing its task? It is highlighting that error message, and this is my third iteration. Okay, and then this will be my fourth iteration. Okay, and this will be my last iteration. Okay, now so far, do you have any question? Okay, I will say there are no questions. So that is what we wanted to discuss in record and run. Now I am going back to using so in this one I also discussed parameterization. Okay, remember that. Then let's do using object repository. Okay, so I'm going to remove everything whatever I have here except these first couple of lines. I'm going to remove everything.
So I want question. When we do record and run, this kind of keyword-driven framework, when we use record and run, what we say to that project is the same thing. You do it with the keyword-driven framework.
Yes.
Or we use any other?
No, what you do in record and run, normally, remember, in record and run, even though you record and run it, and then you take everything on your functions. So let's say this input email address, you take this statement to a function, and then you modularized it, and then you call this function from your Excel.
You mean combining?
Yeah. So what you do? Let's say this part. What you do? You create a function,
yes,
and then put that statement in a function.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, but this part, I'm like, normally record and run is for basic understanding, and if in case if you cannot get anything in object repository, or if you cannot do it using function library, then you do it using record and run.
Okay, so in real life, do you use record and run for your test cases? Or you just
we use record and run for minimal, like, if the test case is very straightforward and there is not much thing to do, then we just do a record and run and we do it. Otherwise, very few situation will be doing record and run.
For me, I found it's very easy to understand the test cases using record and run, because when you were discussing last week about this Facebook, when I was trying, for me, I found that, okay, let me do record and run, let me try to understand first. Then it gave me a really easy path how I'm going to set my test cases and going to write down the function. So.
Yeah. So if
for beginner, I believe it's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. This feature is for beginner to start with, and if we cannot access any object by our descriptive programming or by our object repository, then we will do it record and run.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to remove everything except the first two lines, and I'm going to do it using object repository. Okay, so let me remove everything from here and remove everything from this local object repository, because I don't want anything here. So now I have nothing. Now what I am going to do, I'm going to, how do I add an object repository? Can anyone tell me?
Resources, and then resource manager.
Now,
we have to create object repository, and then from there resources, yes, and then add that class sign, click on class sign and click on the stuff, the object we want to add it in the repository, and later on we have to associate that with the file.
So now
also we're gonna take out the space, we're gonna rename it functionable name, a meaningful name.
Now Vishakha, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you tell me like how I can add a object repository here?
You have to create new, because when you start a action, it's already we have a local object repository. So if we have to create object repository, we have to go to resource object manager. There we can create our own any name with the object, yeah, and whatever object we want to put it over there is fine. So if I use that object in our action, we have to associate it with our action. From action we have to click and we find the create object and select, and then we can use it. Like,
okay, so the summary is, can you tell me the first task that I need to do? Resource, okay, resource, then?
Object repository manager.
Repository manager.
Then class button.
No, file. I would take make a file name first. Then the file to save as.
File, then file.
Save as. Meaningful name. Wouldn't.
Meaningful name.
Let's say Facebook
Share object.
automation shared.
Share object.
We can anywhere. Doesn't matter, huh?
No, it's better. We save everything in the share folder.
No. I'm saving this other folder too. Any name and other folder.
Yeah, you can, Mahbuz bhai, you can save it anywhere and you can give it any name.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. If I remember that, that's fine. But supposed to be your save it share folder because of we are putting all together over there. So remember too easy.
Yeah, so Mahbuz bhai, can you see that we have a folder called Facebook automation, and inside Facebook automation I am saving it, but you can save it in your location.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to click OK, and then Vishaka, what is the next task I need to do?
The plus sign. If I have to add object, we have to click the plus sign.
Okay.
Whatever object we want.
Okay, let me bring that website first, and then let me bring that website.
Has to be up.
So I'm going to bring that website first, and then I'll be adding objects. Now this is my website. The first thing that I'm going to do when this website is open, the first task is verify that Facebook website has loaded. To verify that, we will verify something from this page. So what is the thing you think we will verify?
The Facebook logo.
Logo?
Yeah,
that logo?
Yes.
Okay. So
create a copy. Yeah.
okay. So how will I add that object to the repository?
And click the plus sign.
Plus sign.
And click over the Facebook logo here.
Okay.
Okay. So it's already added.
Then what will I do? How will I change the name of this object?
Meaningful name.
Yeah, meaningful.
How?
Yeah, from here. Okay, we have to delete all space, and the word will be start with the capital letter.
And then Facebook.
And Facebook, this is a browser here.
This is browser.
The class name we have to put it into the name, so that will be easy for our understanding. So this is welcome to its capital letter Facebook set page. We have to add. Facebook capital I image.
Okay. Now
We have to use logo and image.
I'm just what I did. I put a meaningful word so that we understand it. Or later on, when you look at it, okay, this is a logo.
So that my share object repository, anybody can use.
Yeah, anybody can use. Anybody can use with any test case.
Any test.
I'll show you like how. Go ahead.
Uppercase and lowercase matter.
No. Remember, uppercase, lowercase is not matter. Removing space is not matter. We are just trying to bring a standard.
And look like nice.
Yeah. Okay. Now if you highlight this object, you can see this is the object that we are trying to verify, because we are bringing this website. Before you do anything, first we will have to make sure that the website is there. Okay. Now how will I bring this object in my code?
You can drag and drop.
Dragging and put in our place.
Okay. Now so this is the object that I am trying to verify. Now to verify, what is the step that I need to do? Dot.
I was confused always here. Like we have a lot of options, like we can put each statement, highlight. So which one we should use?
Okay. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. So you want to verify if this object is properly loaded. Okay. So to do that, you are putting a if statement. Okay. If you get this object, if this object exists and you keep looking for 3 seconds, then you print something that this Facebook logo image displayed, right? Now if you do not get it, that means in else block, right? In else block you print Facebook logo image not display, right? Now you want to, this is for our understanding. If this object is displayed, just we want to highlight it. This is optional. Remember, you do not have to do that. This is optional. If this object is there, we want to highlight that object. Okay. Now if you execute the same code, definitely it will not pass, right? What is the reason?
We don't access yet.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, hold on. Now, my question, Bhavi, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, can you tell me what I can do to solve this problem?
Okay, can I take a look one more time?
Yeah.
We have to add the object number 1, and number 2, we need to write the reporter.report event myself. That is statement.
Yeah, but my question here, when I'm running this code, see, when I'm running this code, it is, can you see web element, welcome to Facebook browser object was not found.
Object was not found, the object repository. So we have to add the object in the object repository. Associated.
Yeah.
So local repository and share of the repository, we need to associate both of
You
them.
have to click on action 1, right click, associate with action, and you have that thing is click. So put it will work.
Okay, let me execute it now.
I think report event, if we don't put still, the application will run.
Okay, now you are saying one other thing we need to add here, reporter.report event. What is the reason of using reporter.report event make fail?
Result will be showing specific
Reporter.report event, if I do not use it, what will happen?
is not showing any failed result.
So if we do not use reporter.report event, even though if the object is not there, it will not fail the test case. It will not. It will always pass. So didn't get it. Can you report? Can you repeat the question, Mahfuz bhai?
If you put a report report event and my test case is wrong but already passed, and they don't give me any message, that's fine.
Yeah. So if you do not put reporter.report event, if your test case, even though object is not there, it will display that message, but it will still pass your test case. It will not make it failed. So that's why by reporter.report event, by putting make failed, and then we are giving a meaningful message here. What is that message? We are saying Facebook logo image didn't display. Normally, if it is inside a function, we put the function name here to make it more meaningful, but as we do not have any function yet, that's why I will do this one, and then I will put another message here. Okay. Now here what I will do, we will do I will put something else, verification. Okay, verification Facebook logo image didn't display. Remember, you can put anything in these two text. You can put anything. Okay, in this one you can put ABCD. Okay, here you can put XYZ. It doesn't matter, but we are putting meaningful something. Now let's do it in a function. So this logo verification, I want to put it in a function. So now let me see who is in the team. I want to ask a question. Murad bhai, are you there? He is not there.
Murad is not there.
Okay. Tamina, are you there? Hello.
I'm sorry. I don't think I can answer.
No, I'll have to ask you. Now my question here, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, very good. Now can you tell me, like this block, I want to put it in a function library. Now how will I add a function library to this test?
I don't know, Bhaiya.
Okay. Now I will be asking some other people. Please try to follow their answer. Now let me see who is. Rafiq bhai, are you there?
I'm here. Assalamualaikum.
So can you tell me how I can add a function library with this test?
We can go to the file and
new, then
go to the new function library.
what is that, Rafiq bhai? Repeat.
Yeah, then go to follow arrow sign, then click on function library.
Function library, okay. And then this function library, let's say I want to add it not in the function libraries, but I want to add it in the Facebook folder where we have created the Facebook folder. Okay, I want to go there, and inside that I want to add that function library. Okay, actually I want to add it here in the Facebook automation. Now I'll give a name, Facebook function library, Facebook func lib. Okay, and then click create. Now I want to write a function here, function. Okay, function, and inside that function I want to put this block. This block I do not want to keep it here, so I want to put this block here. Now can you tell me, Rafiq bhai, how will I name this function?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question, yeah, like we are trying to give a meaningful name to this function. So here we are verifying the logo and we are trying to give a meaningful name to this function. Like this will be a function, but what will be the meaningful name? How do we generate meaningful name? If we have it here in that way, from the object repository, we copy this and then we copy the page block, okay, and then we paste it here and then we copy the image block.
So we don't use any comma or period in between.
This is Rafiq bhai, this is the function name. In function name you cannot use any comma. So this is a function that we are creating to verify that Facebook logo image, and then we are putting a comment here. Okay, what is the comment? We are verifying the Facebook logo. Okay. Now this function we want to call it from where? We want to call this function from our action. Okay, now if you execute this, do you think it will be executed?
No.
Can you see it is saying that?
The function library was the library, yeah, was the library function.
Can you see type mismatch? Welcome to Facebook, welcome Facebook page, Facebook login. This function, it is not getting that function. So what will be the remedy for that?
We need to
Associate the function. Yeah, click on the Facebook automation on top of the action and then right click and then add the function library. Yep. And yes, and that's it.
Okay.
So now we have added that, we have opened that application, we have verified that Facebook logo is there, and we have added an object repository to this test case, we have added an function library to this test case, and this function library, inside the function library we have placed a function, right? Okay, now the next step, the test case that we are discussing here, Facebook website will appear. So we have make sure that Facebook website appear by verifying that logo. The next task is verify that email text box is present, right? So we will do it using, if you take a look here, we have already, let's do this one as well using, can you see, we have note here that use object repository. Okay, now what is the object that we are trying to verify? We are trying to verify email text box, right? So let's go back to our test case and let's add that, let's go to that object repository. So this is the object repository, right? So we want to add another object. Which object we want to add? This email or phone. Okay, can you see how I am adding that? Now again, if you take a look here, the Facebook, it is under the same browser, under the same page, and this is the email, and what is the type of that object? Web. Now after that,
one question, sorry to interrupt you.
No.
I know we can edit the its class name with everything refinement. If we don't, there is a situation, it should be okay, right?
Yeah, it should be okay. There will be no problem.
Thank you.
Sure. Now let's make sure you are saving. Every time you are adding object, you are saving it, because sometimes you will see your QTP or UFT is not responding, and if you do not save it, if your UFT is not responding, you will have to close the UFT, and if you do not save it, your code, your objects, when you reopen this test, they will be not there. So make sure you are saving it each time you are adding a new function or new objects. Okay, now I am going to bring this object here. Actually, I am going to bring this object here. Well, email web edit. Can you see how I brought that object from there? Now there will be another function for verifying that email web edit. So how will I write that function? Again, there will be another function. And what is that function for? This function is for verify. What is that object?
Email web edit.
Verify email web edit. Okay, now here let's do I'm giving the function name. Okay, okay, now you can take a look here. This email web edit verification. So again, how will you verify? For verification, remember, same thing, you will be putting if condition, and inside if you will be putting exists. Okay, and then let's go there, and then here dot exist, and then let's say p. Now again, if this exists, we are going to print something meaningful. Let's say print, what is that object? Email web edit, and then we are going to put this email web edit exist. Okay, and if it doesn't exist, we will be putting something in the else block. Okay, again I'll put this here, doesn't exist. Okay, no, yes, it is. It will be looking for 3 seconds. It will be looking for, let's say, let me do a quick experiment here. Let's put 10 seconds. Okay, let me show you what it does actually. Now let me bring this, let me put a breakpoint in line number 14. Okay, and actually to make it more significant, let me give it 30 seconds here. Okay, 30 seconds here, and then let's go here, and okay, now if I execute this, actually before I execute this, I want to put in the Facebook automation function library, I want to also put a highlight. If it exists, highlight it. Okay, now if I go there, okay, now can you see this email web edit? I'm going to close this website. So now that web edit is not there, right? Am I correct? So I have closed this browser. Now this web edit is not there, right? Can anyone reply me? I have closed this browser. Now that web edit is not there, right?
No.
Yes. So if I execute line number 14, what will happen?
It will throw you error message. Because the browser is slow.
Now, I have closed that browser because I want to make it fail here. I closed that browser.
Yeah. So what will happen? We didn't write the reportable, that's why it will show mark. So to fail it and to get the real message, we have to add this reportable mix first.
Got it. Now,
It's gonna fail.
yeah, got it. Now in line number 14, what will happen in line number 14?
We are putting 30-second waiting statement.
So it will be looking.
So we are
It will be looking for that web edit for 30 seconds. Remember here,
Yeah.
if I execute, can you see it will be waiting here for 30 seconds?
Yeah. So it takes long.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
is.
it will wait for 30 seconds and we'll look for the else. It's gonna go to
Look
the
for
else.
this line, this web element browser English.
Web edit, and then it will go to the else block. After waiting 30 seconds, can you see it is waiting? Can you see here it is waiting for us? Here it is waiting. So after 30 seconds,
That's why we are putting 3 second or 5 second or 1 second.
yeah.
It's not that.
So that before even opening the application, sometimes it is quick, and before even opening the application, it will tell, okay, we didn't get that object. So we have to make sure that before I check for something, it is there. Okay. Now the object is not there, but can you see it is printing that the object is not there, email web edit does not exist, but if still it will pass your test case. Can you see your test case is passed?
Yeah.
So the reason it is passing because we didn't use a report event here. So what we will have to do, and make sure one other thing, can you see this is your function alignment, right? Function in function. So all the code inside that function should be one tab aligned, right? One tab right side. Now here you want to put a reporter dot report event, and what is the event that we want to report in this situation? We want to report fail. And what is the step? It failed in email web edit verification, right?
Yes.
It failed in email web edit verification. Email web edit verification. And what is the message you want to give? This message: email web edit doesn't exist. So I am making, see this sentence actually I am making. You can make it as you like. It is not like you will have to do it in that way. Okay. Now here, instead of waiting 30 seconds, I want to wait 3 seconds. Now let me execute this code again. Okay. Now see, we are in line number 14. I am again going to close this browser so that our test case fails here. Now how many seconds it will be waiting here?
3 seconds.
3 seconds. Now 1, 2, 3, right? 3 seconds waited, and then can you see email web edit does not exist? It will be printing that error message for us. It will be printing that message, email web edit does not exist, and then also it will report an event that this test case is failed. Now if I finish execution, you will see that Facebook automation temp results. Can you see here email web edit verification, and can you see error details? Email web edit verification, it is giving us error description, email web edit doesn't exist, and run error email UFT verification. So whatever message you have set there, it is coming here in the error description, right? Any question? Any question, team? Okay, no question. Good. Okay. So let me move forward. Now we have verified the email UFT. Now our next task is to input a value in that email UFT. Okay. So input a value in email UFT. What I will do, I will copy the whole function. Okay. I will copy the whole function and I will be placing it here. And what is that? What we are doing here? Input value in email UFT, and then here this is a set. We are setting the value for email UFT, and then we don't need this if else block. Okay, we are going to remove all of this if else block, and then we are going to remove all of this if else, and instead of that exist we are going to put set. And what is the value we want to set? Let's say we want to set test at automatecode.com. Okay, is it clear? Now if you come here, before you set a value, we want to print something in the screen. What do you want to print here? We want to print, let's say, setting or inputting an email address in email UFT field. Okay, now let me execute it again. Let me go let me clear everything and let me run it again. Now I will keep running. It has highlighted that email address, but can you take a look? Did it input anything in the email address field? No. What is the reason?
Get out of property.
What?
So we have to use the get arrow property.
No, Mr. Babi, here my question. Can you see in the function library? In the function library, we have a function where we are inputting.
Function. Yeah.
First, we are inputting a value in the email UFT field. So that value should appear in that field. That value, test at automatecode.com, that value should appear in this email or phone UFT.
Can you see the function screen one more time? Add the function first, right? We have to add this set function.
We have to add what?
We have to add this function, the set. So if email UFT set, we have to add it in the Facebook automation action.
In the action. So can you tell me what I need to do, exactly what I need to do?
Copy the whole thing. Welcome to set. Although we need to copy and bring in action 1. Function.
In action 1 here, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let me execute it. So let me remove this breakpoint so that every time it doesn't stop me here. So now it was able to input that value to that text field, right? Okay. So we have input a value in that text box. Now our next step in the test case is to verify that password text box is present. Right? Now here can you see I'm asking to use descriptive programming, right? So by using descriptive programming I want to do that password web edit is there. Okay, so to do the descriptive programming, what I will do, I will take my object spy and I will take this pointer, I will be pointing here. Now can you see here that we have web edit, and then we have a web table, and then we have a page, and then we have a browser. Now let's say remember that this web table, we do not need to put that web table. Remember that this web table, you do not have to put that web table in the description. So how do I know? I mean, like now, like in that situation, you said, oh, it's a web table, so you can remove that. Like different time, if I buy something else, and it gives me 4. Normally, I'm like, that was my question. Good thing you bring it up. Like browser, page, and link. That's all I know, or web edit. Okay. 4 came up. Okay. So let me tell you what you will get normally. You will get browser, page, and then the object that you are trying to access. You can get one other thing, browser, page, and then frame, and then your object. So if you see there is a frame, then you will be adding browser.page.frame and then your object. But web table, without the web table you can do it. If you see web table in anywhere, you do not need to add it. You will omit that web table. Okay, I'm telling you, instead of having web table, sometimes you will see there is a frame here. If you see frame, you will be using that frame. Your code will be browser, page, frame, and then your object. Okay. Did you get it?
I'm going to copy how. Yeah, I understand. But so since like if there is a web table, how like one I'm going to copy? I'm not going to copy this one. I'll just copy
browser, page, and web edit. Yeah. Alright, so let me do it. Let me show you actually how I'm omitting that web table. So I'm copying all the attribute for that Facebook browser. So I'm going to open a notepad and they're going to put it here. So this is the attribute for the browser. Then go to the page and copy the attributes and then put it here. And then let's go for the actual object by omitting that web table. Now can you see I have 3 layers. This is my child object and it has 2 parent objects. One is page, and this page again it has his parent object, this browser. So this is the 3 layers. Okay, I am not considering this web table layer. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me go to my function library. I am going to write a function. Right? What is the function that I am going to write? I am going to write a function that will verify the password web edit. Okay. Now I am going to write another function here. Function password web edit verification. Okay, and what we are going to do here, we are going to verify the password web edit. Here we are going to verify the password web edit. Right, verify the password web edit. Now if you come here, can you see how will I write? Can anyone tell me how will I write this description?
Browser, parentheses, browser, yes.
browser parenthesis and then
dot and page.
page
Then pen dot link.
dot.
No, it's with it.
So
Yeah, wait a minute. Yes.
so take a look here, guys. Take a look one thing here. The actual object, what is the class name? It is WebEdit, right?
Wait a minute.
So that's why we will be adding here dot web, okay, and then I will put the corresponding description here. Now let's go to the description. If you go to the description, what is the description we have? Can you see? We have name, we have open title.
Yes.
Browser has a name. We will be using this name as the description for that browser. I'll be putting it here, right? Then let's go to the description for the page. What is the description? Title. Yeah. So I'll take
We
this.
can, yeah, I mean, besides title, we also can take URL, right? Or
Yeah,
not?
yeah, we
Or
can.
we have to have the title.
Refinement, we can take URL, but can you see there are some special character in the? Can you see this special character? This slash dot. So if you see there are special character, if you have the alternative, you want to avoid that attribute.
Okay.
Now if I go there, paste, and then let's go back for the web edit. Now what is the attribute that I'm going to take here?
Here, okay, which one? Wait, no, it's not. We can take HTML tag input or class name. You don't suggest class name. Okay. Required font. Type password.
Okay, yes. So see.
I think you tell me on my side.
Yeah, sure. See, I will prefer this one, okay, or this one. Can you see it is more explicit? It is more explicitly mentioning that this is related to password, okay. If this doesn't work, I'll be going for this one. If all of this doesn't work, I'll be going for that class. Okay. Now let's try with this type. Okay, and let me put it here. Now verification, before I do anything, let me try to highlight it so that I can first I want to make sure that I'm getting that object, and then I will write other thing. Now this function name is going to be in the action. Okay, now if I execute this, now here in line number 32 we are trying to highlight that password web edit, right? Let's see if it does. So it is highlighting, right?
Yes, it's working.
Okay, so that means we can write our other if condition and stuff. So what I will do, again I will take the if conditions from another function where I have already written if condition. I will copy everything from there and I will place it here. Okay, now I will replace everything by this. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is a highlight. I'm going to, so this is the highlight, and then here in the exist, okay, now I want to change this verbiage here. What is the verbiage saying? That password instead of email web edit, password web edit exists. Okay, and here password it doesn't exist, and here instead of email I'm going to say password right. Now let me execute it again.
We can call the function. We can call the name of the index.
We already called it. If you take a look in line number 7, yeah. Okay, you can see that it was able to highlight that password we did. Now, so far, how are you getting, everyone? Whatever we did, how are you getting so far?
Good.
That's very good. That's good. And very clear.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, let me input something in that password we did. So, what is the next task? To input something in that password we did. So, I will take a similar function. Okay, I will copy a similar function from my function library, and I will be changing that function. Okay. Now I have copied that. Now now we are inputting value in that password where we did, right? So I will change everything. Input value in password where we did, and then here password where we did set. Okay, password we did set, and here we are going to inputting an email address in email where we did password where we did inputting a password inputting a password in password where we did field. Now again here we will be using this description. We are putting this description, and we are trying to input a password like password 1 2 3 4. Now after that I want to call this function from
the password web edit is need little bit of editing, like web edit twice repeated.
where
Password web edit.
okay.
Yes, please, thank you.
So I'm going to my action, and I'm going to change it from here as well, because if I call it, I change the name, so it will not get that name. So let me now execute it. Okay, now you can see that here we have email and we have password, we have input everything, right? The next task is to click on that login button or login field. Now let's go to our test case. In this step we are going to click on the login button. Okay, now when you click on the login button, right, the first thing that you want to do, if you want to click on that login button, you are inputting data, and if you click on that login button, what is the expected output? Expected output will be an error message, because we are inputting invalid credentials, right? But before I verify that error message, first of all let me click on that login button. Okay, normally what is the step I am saying? I am going to do it again using descriptive programming. Using descriptive programming. Okay, partial. Okay, guys, can you see here that using descriptive programming partially? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of that, using descriptive programming partially?
To add some objects and some descriptive.
So that means when I am clicking on that login button, For some part I'll be using description. For some part I'll be using the object repository. Okay, let me show you how you can combine descriptive programming and object repository. So if you come here, if you take the description of that object, okay, if you take the description of this object, actually let me move it here. If you take the description of this, oh no, not yet, let me, description of this login button, can you see this is a web button? So I'm going to only copy the description for that web button. Now this is a web button and that is what I have for the description, right? Now let me go there, let me go to my function library, and in this function library I'm going to, so this will be a click function, right? Now I'm going to copy this one and we'll be modifying this one to generate that click function. So here, what is that login web button? Can you see, if you take a look at the description, this is a web button, right? So that's why I'm giving this name, login web button. And then what we are going to do, we are going to click on that login web button, right? Now clicking on login web button. Okay, here I'll do the same thing, clicking on login web button. Okay, now if you take a look one thing here, if you go to your object repository, see this is your object repository, right? So if you bring any of the object here, okay, and then this object, this login web button is, it has same browser, same page as this password web edit or this email address web edit. Is that correct? So this login button has same page and same browser as it has for this email address and password. Whatever browser and page it has for this email address and password, the login has the same browser and page. So what I am going to do, I am going to mix here. I am going to use the same browser, same page, but for the description of the web edit, only I am going to change the description of this web edit. So I am going to bring, see this browser, actually we pull it from the object repository. This page we have pulled it from object repository. Now that login button, right, what is the type of that object? Web button. And what is the description for that object? The description, let's say, can you see this value login or name login? We can use any of it. So we will copy this and then we will be putting this description here. And what is the operation that we are doing? We are clicking on that web edit, right? Clicking on login web button, right? And then we are calling this function from our action, right? Now let me execute it. And then we have clicked on login button, right? Clicking on login web button, and then we got that error message, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now one new concept we have introduced here. The concept is browser welcome to Facebook, browser page welcome to Facebook page. Can you see up to that we have taken from where? From the object repository. But for the description of this web button we have just put description for that web button. Otherwise we have taken everything from object repository. That is how we mix descriptive programming and object repository. Any question here?
Yes. So Tanmay, I can write a print after browser or Facebook browser, doesn't matter.
What is the question again, Samidra? Repeat that.
Is the print? If you just write the print, is mention where we put the print?
You can.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You can put the print anywhere.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not sure. If you don't mind, can we let the session because I need to go with Monty right now.
Okay, so I will keep recording and I will be posting it. You can watch the recording later on.
Okay, well, so you post it today or as soon as possible?
Yeah, I'll be posting it as soon as possible.
Okay, well, thank you.
Alright, sure. Now, team, take a look here. See this print here, we are putting it before we are doing anything. So can you see here we are putting a meaningful clicking on login web button. That means before we click we are giving a message clicking on login web button. So it is meaningful here before you click on it. If you click on it and then if you put the message, then you might want to change the message. Login web button just clicked. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me execute it again. But before, let me do another execution and then I will be verifying that error message. So it seems like I'm not getting that website for something. Let me see why it is not bringing me this website. Let me double check something. Okay. Actually I have my internet connection. There is an issue with the internet connection, but let me quickly fix this internet connection, and in the meantime I will pause recording so that it doesn't make it. Now here if you take a look at the question that you have asked me is when you are inputting the email address and password, you took it from input box by using a variable and then you have set up that in the text box. So you do not have to do that, but if you do that, that is correct as well, but you do not have to do that. Okay. Now login web button. Let me execute this code. And I'll be moving forward from there. It has clicked on login button and that error message appeared. Now our next task is to write a function that will verify that error message. Now to verify that error message, again, do you think from your side you will be able to mix descriptive programming and object repository? Do you think you will be able to do that, or I didn't get it. Oh, the question here, to verify that error message, I want you to use a combination of descriptive programming and object repository. Do you think you will be able to do that, or you will be able to give me direction how I will be able to do that?
According to your explanation, we should be able to do that. We have to only find and then yes, we can click the browser and page. We have to edit in the object repository. Then we can find on that.
No, Nafisa Bhabi, we do not need to add anything in the object repository because this object is in the same page as email and password and login these elements. Now we have already added this email password in the object repository, and we can use their browser and page, and we can add the description for this text, right? So what we can do, see here, we can let me show you here. I'm like in this, like what we are doing here, login failed, error message, we are verifying that error message, login failed, error message, verification, right? So now I can bring any object from the repository. See, this is my repository, right? And from this repository I can bring any of the object. Let's say I'm bringing this object, and then I'm not keeping this part, this element. I'm just keeping its browser and page. And here in the verification I'm going to replace browser and page, and I will be putting description for the other object. Now what is that other object? If you take a look here, can you see? This is an web element, right? If I highlight that, you can see the whole thing is a web element, right? So what I will do, I will copy the description of this web element and I will close it. So I'm going to bring a notepad. Okay, now you can see that error message we have brought the description of that error message, and then what I will have to do now, I will have to put the description of this error message. Now what is that error message? It is a web element. So what I'm going to do here, instead of web edit, I'm going to put web element. Okay, and then I'll put the description of that web element. Now what is the description that I have? Let me find out a meaningful description. Can anyone tell me what is the description I should use here? Can anyone tell me what is the description I should use here?
This is what class pass.
I didn't get it. Yeah. Outer text. So let me use this outer text. Okay. Okay, or you can use inner text. They are similar, but
Can we use visible, true? That one possible?
Oh, disable true. See here. Where is that?
Under 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, 3 lines. Yeah.
From the bottom
Bottom.
Visible true. See one thing. Visible true in this page. this object has
Yeah.
visible true, this object has visible true, every object has visible true. So it is not making a unique description. You will have to give a unique description. Okay, so you can see that X path or this outer text, inner text we can use. Okay, so let's use this inner text and let's see what happen if it is able
We
to.
cannot use class name.
See the class name web element, right? In this page we have 10-15 object that has class name that has class name equal to web element. We have this object class name equal to web element. We have this subject class name equal to web element. We have many objects in this page those has class name equal to web element. So you will have to
Like select something different.
you will have to find something that is unique for this object, that is not common in other object. Okay, so let me show you, let me actually as you have asked me the question, let me show you. If I select this object, okay, right, if I select this object, and can you see it has class name web element, right, class name web element, and visible, if you go back, can you see visible equal to true? So I can see
Yes.
this in this space multiple object has class name equal to web element, visible equal to true. That's why if you use class name equal to web element, that will not be a unique attribute and it will not work. So what you will have to do, you will have to choose a unique description that will uniquely identify that object. Okay, let's say in a class there are 10 men and 5 women. Okay, if you say, hey man, can you stand up? Now which man, you are not pointing which man. If you say, hello Mr. X, can you stand up? Then he will stand up. Now, like in this space, if you have 5 objects, those has class name equal to web element, then we are saying, hey web element, can you stand up? Now this web element, you are not specifying what is that web element. Then all of the web element will be looking to each other. Is it me? Is it the other web element? So seems like start recording. We'll have to bring a unique attribute. Let's say this inner text or outer text. We'll be using this attribute to uniquely identify that object. Now if I go back here in my code, you can see I am trying to verify that error message. So I'm going to put that description here. Again here I have used hybrid identification method. I have brought the browser from the object repository, page from the object repository, and the web element, the description I have taken from description of that object. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy up to actually it is becoming harder. So what I'll do, I'll click shift and then I will come here up to that. Okay, and then I'll be placing it here, shift and then before highlight I'll be putting it here. Now what is that? I'm going to say that error message, login failed error message exists. Login failed error message appeared. Okay, and then login failed error message. Here I'll put login phase error message didn't appear, right? And then I'll be putting this message in my make fail. Okay, and here login, as I said, you can write anything here. Login failed verification. Then I'm going to call this function from my action. Okay, now let me run it to see if it works, that description that we have added. Now it failed. Okay, where it failed, it was not able to identify that error message. Can you see login field error message didn't appear, and the error message description here, right everyone? So this login failed, that didn't work. Let me see why it didn't work. Let me see what we can do to make it work. Okay, now let me see if the page and browser is changed. Now if you go to that error message, okay, let me copy the attribute of the browser and put it up here. So this is the attribute of the browser, and then let me go back to the attribute of the page, copy, now I can still see it is welcome to Facebook, right? Name welcome to Facebook, and then this title welcome to Facebook. Let me see in the other description what we have used. So we have some other description here. Name welcome to Facebook, title welcome to Facebook. So browser's description didn't change. Now something we have put, but it didn't like. For that web element we have put inner text, but it is not liking that inner text. Okay, so what I'm going to do, instead of putting the whole description, I'm going to put the email you have entered doesn't match. I'm going to keep up to that. Actually the email, let me put in that way. I'm not going to keep everything. I'm going to put a description, regular expression for that description. Okay, I will give you more explanation on this. Let's see if it works. Let me see, I'm trying to see if this works, if this regular expression works. Now if I put it here, dot highlight, okay. Now let me do execution from this line, if it works. So it is saying that web element object description matches more than one object currently displayed in your application. So what I'm going to do here, the email I'm going to put.
I got that error message couple of times. What that means? It mentioned only web element, or it mentioned the whole line, like a browser page, or it just mentioned only for web element?
See, this error message means it is getting more than one object with that description. The object description matches more than the object description matches more than one objects in the currently displayed in your application. So
yeah, I got that message couple of times. I didn't understand what that.
So what I'm going to do here, I'm trying to put some alternative, and if I am successful, then I'll give you a complete explanation of this. I'm just executing this line to see if I am able to identify that object. Still it is saying object description matches more than one object, so I will bring some other attributes here. Actually, so this is the web element. If I use the X path, let's see what happens if I use the X path.
What about outer text?
Huh?
What about outer text?
Now, so you can see that outer text and inner text, they are similar.
Okay.
So it will not make any difference. But let me try one other attribute here, HTML tag.
While you were doing, I want to ask you something because I forget. During test, because this is what I went through while I was doing the Facebook yesterday. And then what happened, I went to object repository, share object repository option. So during test, I know that you're going to keep all these conditions, share object or descriptive or combination. But if we struggle and our time will be, like short, in that case, if we struggle, will you accept our proper explanation? And then will you consider that or no?
If you are having hard time in the test identifying object, if you use object repository, I might give you not full mark, but I will give you probably 50-60% mark on that part. Only on that specific part. Like if I give you an example with 30 marks, that means let's say it has 10 steps. For each of the steps you have 10 marks, 3 marks. So on that particular step, probably you will get, out of 3 you will get 1.5. But I will consider.
Please do not give us something that we have to really search a lot. Give us, you test first, you try, and then you give us. Don't give us with the pop-up message. Number one, don't give us something that we're gonna struggle a lot. End of the day, we will be able to find it, but our time concern, because you're gonna give us limited time. We won't have time to research.
I'll keep it. I will keep it in my mind. Okay. So it seems like.
I know we're rookie. He's gonna give us. Of course, he's gonna give us. Yeah, because like wine testing, obviously, time is like a big fact for us.
Yes, sure. What I'll do, I'll try to give you something like you don't have to research a lot, but
thanks.
Sure. Now.
And Samurai, you know it, right? We're brand new. We're very new in this team. Of course, you're going to give us something easy so we can pass.
Let's see what I can bring, but prepare your best so that.
Don't give us something for research. That's it. Give us something that you really know is going to work.
We'll try. I'll try.
Thank you, Samurai. Sure. We're just joking. Just do whatever you feel like to do. We'll try as much as we can. We're just saying it to you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that is what I want to listen. Okay, you will try your best, and I want to give as whatever I like.
Yeah, you do whatever you feel like to do. We'll try it we can, and of course we'll come to you. Thank you.
Sure. So I'm trying to see. I'm trying to do some research by myself to make this work. So if it doesn't work, I'll not take that long. I'll be moving into object repository, but I'm trying all the possible alternatives first before I'm moving into object repository. Now, if you come here, I'll be replacing this description with something else. try to actually I need to put it up there. Shift and let me execute it now. Now it worked. Can you see? Okay. Can everyone see what I did here?
Which attribute did you add?
Remember, if you have no other way, you go for the outer HTML, right?
Yeah, after.
Now, if you take a look, the outer HTML is a big attribute. Can you see outer HTML? Here we have, it is a very big attribute, and it is kind of finishing here, right? It is a long attribute, but I didn't use all of the outer HTML. Instead of, can you see outer HTML, I have taken up to, can you see the email? When I use outer HTML, the email u, and then I put a dot star, right? So I remove everything after that, the email u, I remove everything up to here, and instead of everything I put a dot star. I put a dot star. Can you see? Instead of everything, whatever text I selected here, instead of everything I have used a dot star. That means I am using regular expression here. Okay, how you can use regular expression. So I am giving the outer HTML but not the whole outer HTML. Instead of, I am keeping partial, whatever is meaningful to me, and for the remaining part I have used dot star. That dot star is called regular expression. Is it understood? Like, did you understand it, what I am trying to do here?
It is a very shocking thing, but yeah, I'm understanding.
Yeah, I understand your concept, but how do we know how far we have to do it?
Oh, actually, see here, I have chosen something. I thought that if I give outer HTML like that, that will be unique, because I don't want to go for too many characters, too many complex characters. I want to keep as simple as possible. See, I have kept up to, I have removed everything after that. So probably this outer HTML, even you can try, after that you can remove everything. Let me give a try here. I'll keep the email you choose, and after that I'll remove everything. Let's see if it works. It worked. So see here, if you go back here, I have used the outer HTML, but which part I have used? Can you see? I have used only up to you. I didn't use the whole outer HTML. Okay, so you will do experiment like up to how much it is working. If you take that much, is it working? And then for the remaining part, what I did, for the remaining part I used a dot star. That means replace it with whatever it has over there. That is called regular expression. Okay, remember that in practical in practical automation you will have to use regular expression for many of the situations. Regular expression. Yeah, there could be a question in the exam, what is regular expression in automation.
So how should we answer it? We should say like if the attribute is really big, we can stop the attribute using star, dot star.
See, what is regular expression in QTP? If you go to your website and if you search for, if you go to your website, let's say, let me ask what is regular expression in QTP. Okay, Now you will see lot of answer. Regular expression is a string that describes or matches a set of strings. It is often called a pattern as it describes set of strings. In this article we are going to discuss about using regular expression. So you will get lot of definition if you go there. And then you will see they have given some explanation. Or let me tell you, if I ask you what is regular expression, then you will say, in testing, instead of using the whole attribute, we can use partial attribute, and then for the remaining attribute we can put a dot star. That is called regular expression. Okay. The question, it could be what is regular expression in UFT or QTP. So then the way you will answer it, what is regular expression, you will say in testing, in automation testing, we can take partial attribute for an object and replace the remaining part of the attributes with dot star. Okay, so this is called regular expression. Okay, now see what we did here. We have a big outer HTML, but we didn't keep the whole outer HTML. We just keep this first 10-15 characters, and then we have, for the remaining characters, we put a dot star. So this is what we are calling regular expression. Any more question? Okay, sure. Now here in this one, what I'm going to do, outer HTML, I'm going to replace this. Actually, I'm going to replace from here up to that. Okay, and actually I put double quotation, and then I'm going to put, let me go down the end, and then let me replace it. Okay, now we have a pretty short outer HTML. Let me see if it works for us. Okay, if it works, we will be wrapping up this session here, and on Wednesday I will give you a bit like how you can incorporate these steps with Excel. Okay, now it was able to highlight that error message, and our test should pass. Now what we did here, instead of putting the whole outer HTML, we have put only a little bit of outer HTML, and the remaining part we replaced with dot star. That is what we are calling regular expression, and we were able to identify that object. Now for your Wednesday task, you will be completing up to whatever I did, however way I did, you will be completing that part, and then see this code. I will be on Wednesday, I will be playing this code from Excel. Now do you have any question or any concern regarding whatever we did, or regarding any other topics?
Yes, so far this part is very clear. No question right now.
Okay, so go through this, prepare this, make it working in your computer before Wednesday, and I will be reviewing your work, all of your work, and also I will be incorporating Excel with this function. All of the function I will be calling from Excel on Wednesday. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for joining, and feel free if you have any question, shoot me an email. I'll try to answer your question.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Samuel bhai, for a wonderful class.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ripa Bhabi.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.